The summer sun hung low on the horizon, bathing the quiet desert highway in hues of orange and gold. A soft breeze carried the scent of dry earth and sagebrush. Jada Brooks, a 26-year-old woman with a determined spirit, trudged along the side of the road. Her small duffel bag bounced against her back with each step. She had been walking for nearly 2 hours, her legs aching and her throat dry. Her car had broken down miles back, and with no cell service and little cash, she had no choice but to hitchhike to the nearest town. It wasn't the safest option, but she was out of alternatives. Jada adjusted the strap of her bag and raised her thumb as a car approached. It sped past, its driver not even glancing her way. She sighed but kept walking. She refused to let herself feel defeated. Minutes later, the hum of an approaching vehicle made her glance over her shoulder. A sleek white Tesla glided toward her, its quiet electric motor almost startling in the silence of the desert. To her surprise, the car slowed and pulled over to the side of the road. The passenger side window rolled down, revealing a man in a plain black t-shirt and sunglasses. "Need a lift?" he asked casually. Jada hesitated for a moment. The man looked vaguely familiar, but she couldn't quite place him. Still, he didn't have the air of someone dangerous. "Yeah," she said finally, her voice cracking slightly from thirst. "Thank you." He leaned over to unlock the door, and she slid into the cool, air-conditioned interior. She sank into the seat with a sigh of relief. "Rough day?" the man asked as he started driving. "You could say that," Jada replied, glancing at him. His voice, his face, it clicked suddenly. She gasped softly. "Wait, are you Elon Musk?" He smiled, keeping his eyes on the road. "Guilty." Jada blinked, momentarily speechless. She had seen him on TV, read about him in the news, but she never imagined she'd be sitting in his car. I don't even know what to say," she stammered. "How about telling me where you're headed?" he suggested, a hint of amusement in his voice. "Oh, right," Jada said, snapping out of her daze. "I was trying to get to Clearwater. My car broke down, and there's no cell service out here." Elon nodded. "That's about 30 miles from here. I can take you." "Thank you," Jada said, her voice filled with gratitude. "I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't stopped." Elon glanced at her. "No problem. Everyone needs a hand now and then. So, what's your story? Why were you heading to Clearwater?" Jada hesitated, unsure how much to share with a stranger, even one as famous as Elon Musk. But there was something about his tone, his genuine curiosity, that made her feel comfortable. "I was heading there to meet someone about a job," she admitted. "I've been trying to find something steady. It's been a struggle lately." Elon's brow furrowed slightly. "What kind of work are you looking for?" "Anything, really," Jada said with a shrug. "I've worked in retail as a waitress, even did some cleaning jobs, but what I really want is to go back to school. I just can't afford it right now." He nodded thoughtfully, his hands resting lightly on the steering wheel. "What would you study if you could?" "Business," Jada said without hesitation. "I've always dreamed of running my own company someday. Maybe something in fashion or design. I've had ideas for years, but, dreams don't pay the bills." Elon glanced at her again, a small smile playing at the corner of his lips. "Dreams don't pay the bills," he repeated, almost to himself. "Not at first anyway, but they can." Jada chuckled softly. "Easy for you to say. You're Elon Musk. You're living the dream." He laughed, shaking his head. "Trust me, it didn't always feel that way. I've been broke, sleeping on couches, eating cheap food while trying to build my first company. Dreams are risky, but they're worth it." Jada looked at him, her skepticism fading into curiosity. "What kept you going?" she asked. Elon's expression grew serious. "Belief, not just in the dream, but in the work. If you're willing to put in the effort, even when it seems impossible, you can turn a dream into reality." Jada nodded slowly, his words resonating with her. For the first time in a while, she felt a spark of hope. They drove in silence for a few minutes, the desert landscape stretching endlessly around them. Finally, Elon broke the quiet. Do you have a plan for getting into school?" he asked. Jada sighed. "Not really. I've been saving what I can, but it's not enough. I've looked into scholarships, but they're so competitive. It just feels like a long shot." Elon was quiet for a moment, his expression thoughtful. "What if you didn't have to worry about the cost?" Jada frowned, turning to look at him. "What do you mean?" He glanced at her, his smile returning. "I mean, what if someone took care of your tuition? No strings attached." Her heart skipped a beat. "Are you saying—" "I'm saying I'll pay for your education," Elon said simply. "If business is your dream, let's make it happen." Jada stared at him, her mind racing. "You're serious?" "Completely," he said, his tone calm but firm. "I've always believed that people with big dreams deserve a chance to pursue them. You have the drive. The least I can do is remove one obstacle." Tears welled up in Jada's eyes as the weight of his words sank in. "I don't even know how to thank you," she whispered. "You don't have to," Elon said, pulling the car into a small rest stop near Clearwater. "Just promise me you'll use what you learn to create something amazing." Jada nodded, her voice trembling as she said, "I promise." As they pulled into the outskirts of Clearwater, Jada felt a surge of determination she hadn't felt in years. Her dreams, once distant and out of reach, now felt possible. And it all started with a stranger stopping to help. By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you like Elon Musk. The next morning, Jada woke up with a mixture of disbelief and hope. Everything Elon Musk had said felt like a dream, too good to be true. Yet, as she sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the sunlight filtering through her window, her phone buzzed with a call. "Hello?" she said cautiously. "Good morning, Jada," a cheerful voice greeted her. "This is Priya from Mr. Musk's team. He asked me to follow up regarding your plans for university." Jada's heart skipped a beat. It was real. Everything Elon had promised was actually happening. "Hi," Jada said, her voice trembling with excitement. I'm still in shock. I don't know where to start." "No problem," Priya said warmly. "That's why I'm here. Mr. Musk wants to make sure you're supported in every way. Can I help you identify the schools you're interested in and figure out the next steps?" "Absolutely," Jada said, gripping the phone tightly. Priya guided her through the process, asking about her career aspirations and her ideal program. Jada shared her dream of studying business and her hopes of one day starting her own fashion company. "That sounds amazing," Priya said. "Mr. Musk is a big believer in bold dreams. Let's turn yours into a reality." The next few weeks were a whirlwind. Priya sent Jada a list of universities with excellent business programs, along with brochures and application guides. She also helped Jada connect with academic advisors and arranged for a coach to assist with her admissions essays. For the first time in years, Jada felt like the impossible was within reach. But it wasn't just the logistics that changed. Word of her story had begun to spread. One evening, as she was returning home from her part-time job, her neighbor Mrs. Calhoun waved her over. "Jada, is it true?" the elderly woman asked, her eyes wide with excitement. "Did Elon Musk really stop to help you?" Jada laughed nervously, tucking a stray curl behind her ear. "It's true," she admitted. "He picked me up when my car broke down, and now he's paying for me to go to college." Mrs. Calhoun clapped her hands together, her face lighting up. "Well, if anyone deserves it, it's you," she said. "You've worked so hard. It's about time someone noticed." Jada thanked her neighbor, but as she walked up the stairs to her apartment, she couldn't shake the weight of everyone's expectations. What if she failed? What if she let everyone down, including Elon? 2 months later, Jada's hard work paid off. She received an acceptance letter from one of her top-choice universities, a prestigious school with a renowned business program. She screamed when she saw the email, then immediately called Priya to share the news. "That's fantastic," Priya said. "We'll make sure everything is set up for your tuition and housing. Congratulations, Jada. You earned this." But the surprises weren't over yet. A few days later, as Jada was packing boxes in preparation for her move to campus, her phone rang again. The number wasn't Priya's this time. "Hello? Hi, Jada." said a familiar voice. "It's Elon." Jada nearly dropped the phone. "Mr. Musk, hi, I wasn't expecting to hear from you." "I just wanted to congratulate you on your acceptance," Elon said. "I heard the good news from Priya. How are you feeling?" "Excited, nervous," Jada admitted, sitting down on the edge of her couch. "This is a huge opportunity. I don't want to mess it up." "You won't," Elon said confidently. "I can tell you're determined, and that's half the battle. The rest is just showing up and doing the work." Jada smiled, his encouragement bolstering her confidence. "Thank you," she said softly. "There's one more thing," Elon added. "Before you head off to school, I'd like to meet with you again. I have something I want to give you." Jada's curiosity piqued. "Of course," she said. "When? How about tomorrow?" The next day, Jada arrived at a sleek office building in downtown Los Angeles, where Elon had arranged to meet her. She was directed to a private conference room, where he was waiting. "Jada," he said warmly as she entered. "Good to see you again." "You too," she said, her nerves settling slightly as she took a seat. Elon handed her a small gift-wrapped box. "This is for you," he said. Jada opened it carefully, revealing a silver bracelet engraved with a simple yet powerful phrase, "Dream big, work harder." "It's a reminder," Elon said. "Whenever things get tough, remember why you started. You've got this, Jada." Tears welled up in her eyes as she slipped the bracelet onto her wrist. "Thank you," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "That's not all," Elon continued. "I've arranged for you to have an internship with one of our Tesla teams next summer. It'll give you hands-on experience in running a company and help you build your skills." Jada stared at him, stunned. "You're giving me an internship at Tesla?" Elon nodded. "I believe in investing in people with potential, and I see a lot of it in you." Jada couldn't find the words to express her gratitude. Instead, she stood and offered her hand. Elon shook it firmly. "Thank you," she said again. "I won't let you down." As she left the building that day, Jada felt a profound sense of purpose. The girl who had been walking along a dusty highway just months ago was now heading to university with opportunities she had never dreamed possible. She looked down at the bracelet on her wrist and smiled.